You try to relax, but something inside you does not fully allow it to happen. Even when everything around you is quiet and there is no clear problem, your body does not completely settle. There is a subtle tension that stays present, almost like a quiet background noise that never fully disappears. It is not strong enough to feel like anxiety, but it is enough to stop you from feeling fully at ease, and over time, this becomes something you stop questioning. Even when your body is resting, your mind often continues to stay active in the background. You may lie down, but your thoughts keep moving, scanning, or replaying small details. This creates a disconnect between physical rest and mental rest. Your body appears still, but your brain continues working. Because of this, the rest you experience does not feel complete, and your energy does not fully restore in the way it should. There is often a part of your mind that remains active even when you are trying to be calm. This part is not visible in an obvious way, but it continues to observe and monitor your environment. It watches for changes, patterns, and signals, even when there is no clear reason to do so. This hidden vigilance becomes a constant process that runs in the background, using your mental energy without your full awareness. Your brain is not only reacting to what is happening right now, it is also responding to patterns it has learned in the past. If there was a time when staying alert helped you avoid discomfort, your brain remembers that strategy. Even when the current moment is safe, your mind may still activate small signals of caution, not because there is danger, but because it has learned that being prepared is better than being caught off guard. Safety is not something your brain decides based only on the present moment. It is influenced by past experiences that shaped how your nervous system responds. When your brain has learned that situations can change quickly or unpredictably, it keeps a small level of activation ready. This internal alert signal does not turn off easily, because from your brain's perspective, staying slightly prepared is safer than fully letting go. Your current state is influenced by patterns your brain created in earlier experiences. These patterns are not always based on extreme events, but on repeated moments where you had to stay aware or adjust quickly. Over time, your brain begins to treat this level of awareness as normal. It carries that pattern forward, even into situations where it is no longer necessary, because it has learned that this is how you stay safe. This constant scanning process becomes automatic over time. Your brain checks for changes in tone, movement, and subtle signals without you needing to think about it. This is known as hypervigilance, and it can exist at a very low level without feeling intense. Even though it helps you stay aware, it also keeps your system active. Because of this, your brain rarely enters a fully relaxed state, which affects how you experience rest. When your brain does not allow your body to fully relax, your energy cannot fully restore. Even if you take breaks or sleep, part of your system remains active. This results in a feeling of partial recovery, where you are not completely exhausted but not fully energized either. Over time, this creates a consistent low-energy state that feels difficult to explain, because you are technically resting, but not in a way that allows full recovery. Your brain continues to process and predict even when there is nothing specific to solve. It runs small internal loops, checking possibilities and maintaining awareness. This happens automatically, without your conscious control. These loops are subtle, but they require energy. Because they do not fully stop, your mind never completely rests, and this contributes to the feeling that you are always slightly engaged, even during moments that are meant to be calm. The important realization is that this pattern is not a flaw in your personality. It is a learned response created by your brain to protect you. Once you begin to see it this way, your perspective starts to change. Instead of trying to force yourself to relax, you begin to understand why relaxation feels difficult. This understanding becomes the first step toward changing how your brain responds and slowly creating a sense of safety again. Even when you appear calm on the outside, there is often a second layer of awareness inside you that continues to monitor everything. This part of your mind is always observing, checking, and preparing for possible changes. It does not fully turn off, even when nothing requires attention. Because of this, your brain never fully enters a state of rest, and this continuous monitoring quietly consumes your energy without making itself obvious. Your brain constantly tries to predict what might happen next, even in situations that seem simple. It creates small mental scenarios and possibilities to stay prepared. This process helps you feel in control, but when it becomes constant, it prevents your mind from resting. Instead of experiencing the present moment, your brain stays focused on what could happen, keeping your system active even when there is nothing to solve. When your brain becomes used to detecting small changes, it develops a higher sensitivity to subtle signals. You begin to notice things that others may not pay attention to, such as small shifts in tone or behavior. While this awareness can be useful, it also keeps your nervous system engaged. Your brain stays ready to respond, even when the situation does not require it, which makes it harder for you to fully relax. Your sense of safety often becomes connected to how much control you feel over your environment. When you are able to predict and manage what is happening around you, your brain feels more secure. However, this also means that your mind stays engaged in maintaining that control. Even when everything is stable, your brain continues to hold on to that responsibility, which prevents it from fully relaxing. Over time, your brain builds subtle protective patterns that stay active even when they are no longer needed. These patterns create a sense of distance between you and your environment, allowing you to stay prepared. While this can feel safe, it also limits your ability to fully relax. Your system remains partially closed, holding on to a level of alertness that keeps your energy from settling completely. Time alone does not change how your brain responds to safety and relaxation. Even as your life becomes more stable, your nervous system may continue operating based on old patterns. This is because your brain relies on learned experiences, not just current reality. Without new experiences that show it things are different, it continues repeating the same responses, keeping you in a state of low-level alertness. Your brain often evaluates multiple possibilities at the same time, even in simple situations. It considers different outcomes and prepares for each one. While this helps you stay ready, it also creates mental effort that continues even when it is not necessary. This constant evaluation keeps your mind active, making it difficult for you to fully relax and simply experience the present moment without analyzing it. Part of your brain may feel uncertain about letting go of alertness because it has become associated with safety. Even if staying alert is exhausting, it feels familiar and reliable. Letting go of it can feel uncomfortable because it removes a layer of control. This creates a situation where your brain holds onto a pattern that no longer serves you, simply because it has learned to trust it over time. Every time your brain stays alert and nothing goes wrong, it reinforces the idea that this pattern is working. This is how reinforcement learning functions. Your brain repeats behaviors that seem to protect you, even if they come with a cost. Over time, this strengthens the pattern, making it more automatic and more difficult to change without conscious awareness and new experiences. Once you begin to understand that your brain is trying to protect you rather than hold you back, your perspective shifts. Instead of fighting the pattern, you start to see it as something that can be retrained. This understanding is important because it changes how you approach the problem. Rather than forcing relaxation, you begin to focus on creating conditions where your brain can slowly learn that it is safe to let go. Your brain learns safety through repetition rather than isolated moments. When you create consistent experiences where nothing goes wrong, your nervous system begins to recognize a pattern. These repeated signals gradually show your brain that the environment is stable. Over time, this reduces the need for constant monitoring. Even simple routines can become powerful because they provide predictable experiences that your brain can learn to trust without needing to stay alert. When you stop trying to control every internal feeling, your brain begins to change how it responds. Instead of reacting to tension, you allow it to exist without interference. This reduces the need for constant monitoring and adjustment. Your brain learns that not every sensation requires action. Over time, this creates a sense of internal safety, where your body can experience different states without immediately trying to fix them or escape from them. Part of learning to feel safe again involves allowing uncertainty to exist without immediately trying to control it. Your brain often stays alert because it wants complete predictability, but that is rarely possible. When you experience uncertainty without reacting to it, your brain begins to update its understanding. It learns that not knowing everything does not always lead to negative outcomes, which slowly reduces the need for constant alertness. Small actions play a key role in changing how your brain responds. When you take manageable steps without overthinking or over-preparing, you show your brain that you can handle situations in real time. These experiences build trust between your mind and your body. Over time, your brain becomes less dependent on constant prediction and control, allowing your system to relax more naturally without feeling like it is losing safety. You do not need to remove awareness completely to feel safe. Instead, you shift from intense monitoring to gentle observation. Your attention remains present, but it is no longer searching for problems. This change allows your brain to stay engaged without activating alertness. Over time, this creates a new pattern where awareness and calm can exist together, reducing the need for constant scanning and helping your mind settle more naturally. As you allow your experiences to unfold without excessive control, your brain begins to trust your ability to handle situations. This trust reduces the need for constant alertness. Your nervous system starts to feel safer internally, not because everything is predictable, but because it learns that you can respond effectively when needed. This shift creates a deeper sense of stability that supports relaxation without forcing it. When your brain begins to understand that constant vigilance is no longer necessary, it gradually reduces its level of activation. This does not happen instantly, but through repeated experiences of safety. As the pattern weakens, your system no longer needs to stay in a continuous state of readiness. This allows your energy to shift away from monitoring and toward recovery, making relaxation feel more natural over time. As your internal state becomes more balanced, the constant pull to monitor your surroundings begins to fade. You no longer feel the need to react to every small signal. Your attention becomes more stable, allowing you to stay present without being pulled in different directions. This creates a sense of clarity that makes it easier to focus and engage with your life without the background tension that once felt constant. When your brain no longer needs to stay constantly alert, your energy begins to return in a steady and noticeable way. This does not feel like sudden excitement, but rather a calm sense of ease. Your body feels lighter, and your mind feels clearer. This change happens because your energy is no longer being used for constant monitoring, allowing it to support your natural state of rest and recovery. You begin to experience moments where your mind feels quieter than before. These moments may be small at first, but they show that your brain is starting to change its pattern. The constant background activity becomes less intense, allowing you to feel more present. This creates a sense of calm that does not require effort, because it comes from a natural shift in how your nervous system responds. You were never someone who could not relax. You were someone whose brain learned to stay alert in order to protect you. Once that pattern begins to change, your system no longer needs to hold onto constant vigilance. Your energy becomes stable, your mind becomes clearer, and your body begins to feel safe again. This is not something you force, but something that develops naturally as your brain learns that it is finally safe enough to let go.